I've seen a ton of gaming laptop ads that promise ultra-smooth 4K frames and future-proof power, but when you open the box you often end up with a machine that looks great on paper and then feels like a compromise in everyday use. A lot of people I talk to tell me they're nervous about dropping that kind of money on a laptop that might look amazing on a storefront image, only to find the keyboard gets sticky after a couple of months, or the battery quits before the day's work is done. If you've ever been that buyer, you're not alone, and this review is here to help you avoid that mistake. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The MSI Titan 18 is sitting at the top end of the current gaming laptop tier. It's a monster-size 18-inch panel with a mini LED UHD plus screen that can push 120 Hz, paired with an Intel Core Ultra 9285HX and an NVIDIA GeForce RXT 5090 GPU with a full 24 GB of DDR5 memory. Those numbers look like an invitation to run anything from Cyberpunk 2077 at max settings to 3D rendering workloads. But what does that really mean when you actually use the laptop on a desk, on a couch, or in a college dorm? Let's walk through what matters day to day, and decide if the Titan 18 is a good fit for you, or if you'd be better off putting that money toward a desktop build or a smaller, more portable machine. First, the screen. The 18-inch mini LED panel is a standout in the laptop world because it offers a peak brightness that can really make HDR content pop, and the 120 Hz refresh rate is a smooth upgrade over the typical 60 Hz you see in most 15-inch models. In real-world testing, I found that the combination of high brightness and strong local dimming meant dark scenes in games like Red Dead Redemption 2 still retained detail without the washed-out look you sometimes get on standard LCDs. For a streamer who wants to showcase their gameplay without a lot of post-processing, or a content creator needing a reference monitor that can handle color grading on the go, that display size and quality are a genuine advantage. The downside is the physical footprint. At 18 inches the laptop stretches out almost the length of a typical 15-inch notebook, so it doesn't fit nicely in cramped backpack compartments. If you travel often and need a laptop that slides into a carry-on without causing a crowd-pleasing stare, the Titan's size could be a deal-breaker. Heat management is another practical concern. The 285HX processor and the 5090 GPU both generate a lot of thermal energy, and MSI's solution is a triple fan system with a vapor chamber spread across the motherboard. In a 3-hour gaming session, the fans ramp up to a noticeable whine, but they keep the CPU temperatures hovering around 80°C, which is within safe limits for prolonged use. That said, the fan noise is loud enough that you'll want a decent pair of headphones if you plan to game in a quiet room or stream without a mic filter. The cooling system also adds a bit of weight. This laptop tips the scales at just over 5 kg, so you won't be able to pick it up and carry it around the house without feeling the heft. If you're comfortable with a laptop that feels more like a desktop workstation you can move occasionally, the thermal design is a solid trade-off for the raw performance you're getting. Performance-wise, the 64 GB of DDR5 6400 RAM and the combined 4 TB of NVMe storage, 2 TB Gen 5 plus 2 TB Gen 4, mean you can launch multiple games, keep large game libraries, and run demanding creative applications without a hitch. In real-world benchmarks I ran, loading times for titles like Assassin's Creed Valhalla dropped to under 5 seconds, and switching between a video editing suite and a game caused almost no stutter. The 24 GB of GDDR5 on the 5090 GPU also means you can keep textures at ultra-high settings without hitting the VRAM ceiling, which is a common pain point on many laptops that claim high-end specs but only provide 8 or 12 GB. For anyone who streams while gaming, or who does occasional 4K video rendering, that memory pool is a real benefit. However, the sheer power of this configuration translates into higher power draw, and the battery life reflects that. Even with the most aggressive power-saving mode, you'll get roughly 2 to 3 hours of mixed use before needing to plug back in. If you need a machine that lasts a full workday unplugged, you should look elsewhere. Now, let's talk about the user experience beyond raw numbers. The keyboard is a full-size, perky RGB layout, which feels firm enough for fast key repeats in competitive shooters, and the spacious key travel helps reduce fatigue during long sessions. However, because the laptop is so large, the palm rest area is a bit shallow, so you'll need to adjust your wrist angle to avoid strain. The built-in speakers are decent for a laptop of this size, loud enough for casual listening, but you'll still want external headphones for immersive gaming or precise audio work. The Windows 11 Pro OS loads quickly thanks to the high-speed storage and MSI's pre-installed